What's up, everyone? Today we are going to talk Nuggets who are rolling, Abs who are rolling, and we're going to talk about the Broncos and give out some mid-season awards. So stay tuned, and we will talk about that next.
Yo, welcome to the show. Let me set the scene. Mile High Sports Symposium, living the dream. Broncos in the house with that orange and blue. Nuggets making moves, watch that altitude crew. Avalanche bringing ice, check the skills they display. Rocky swinging bats, ready for a game day. Rapids in the mix, kicking it with style. Buffs bring the heat, put the rivals on trial. Out talking JJT, they got the scoop. Mile High vibes, feel that energy rise. Sports on the menu, watch the crowd mesmerize. From football to hockey, we're taking it higher. Join the celebration, feel that sports desire.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mile High Sports Symposium. I am host JT Matthews, and I'm here with the Dr. Nicholas Manning. Technical difficulties today. My camera decided it does not want to work, so I'm here. But you get to just feast your eyes on the doc, which is probably the preferable option, anyways. Yeah. So I'm not going to distract from his beauty any longer. So you're lucky today. Doc, how you doing? Happy Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. We got a lot to be thankful for, I think.
We do. Well, thank you, and thank you. I'm just saying. Yeah, just saying. I'm good, man. It's been a week. Lot going on.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I probably shouldn't share over the internet. Good stuff though.
Yeah.
Super busy, but some positive things going on. And then, yeah, you know what? Got a good workout in today.
Nice.
Which means tomorrow I can
crush.
It's food going left and right.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it's special. It's special what I'm about to do to Thanksgiving. So appreciate you. Yeah.
What's up, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you, brother?
I had a good workout today too. I've been going to the park shooting hoops lately. Last 6 times I've been, my shot's been so bad. Like my jump shot, I'm around the rim. I'm pretty consistent now, getting better with my left hand, but my jump shot's been so bad. And today I was finally doing better, and I felt like I got over a little bit of a hump. I don't know if it'll stay. We'll see. But it was nice. It was nice to take shots and actually make them today. So that wasn't so discouraging, But otherwise, pretty good. Like you said, we got Thanksgiving tomorrow. We're gonna. I'm visiting both the fams. You guys will be over. It'll be a good time. We'll crush some turkey. I got the mac and cheese on lock. We're good to go for tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I got salad. So
hey, solid. I probably won't eat it because there's other real food, but
I got delegated the easy stuff. So
I think it's smart to have. If I'm feeling guilty, I'll certainly go for it. But
for sure.
There's just so many options.
Yeah.
Oh, since we're giving out awards, what's your award for best Thanksgiving food?
Let's do that. That's good. MVP. My MVP. I mean, it's interesting because it's like I don't really know like a turkey guy outside of Thanksgiving.
Right.
But I feel like is it Thanksgiving without it?
Right.
It's probably not. It's probably go MVP with the turkey. With a close second to the mashed potatoes with gravy, and like mashed potatoes with gravy, like mashed potatoes without gravy. Just eating gravy.
That's actually my answer every year is gravy. That's my favorite Thanksgiving MVP. Like,
do you just soup it up just like in a bowl?
Oh yeah, just like throw some potatoes, some
Right,
turkey,
right.
some
But it's got
stuffed
to go like
peas, some
with stuff.
corn.
Like you're not just eating gravy.
No, but it's
Right.
like
That's what I'm saying.
without it, it's just so much less exciting.
Oh, 100%. Gravy makes. I mean, it's like the sixth man, where it's
Yeah,
like it's not the main dish, but without it, like it's all right. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you can get the lead, but can you keep it? No, you need that sixth man. You need that. You need the Tim Hardaway Jr. to come in, hit some
That's right.
daggers. Make sure you
It's like
keep that
salad
lead.
without dressing. Like the dressing's the hero of the
100%.
salad, like
100%.
99% of the time.
Yeah. When I was like ultra in my really good health days, I guess, whatever.
Oh, I
I
remember.
just embraced that wrap. I just like would create a ball of spinach and just eat it because it's just terrible. It's like, why am I gonna like try and dress it up?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
just go,
don't drag it out. Just get it done
No,
with.
yeah, don't drag it out. Don't drag it out. I'm a quick and easy guy. Like, let's just let the suffering go. But you know what? It's gonna be super dope to watch football, knowing that your team is at the top looking down.
That's right, baby.
It's a great place to be. I'm all about like equal social structures and like people getting what they need. Not in football. Not in football. You're not first or last. And so, technically because but we our Denver sports scene is super dope. And then watching teams on Thursday that wish they could be the Broncos is super dope. You can watch it just like a fan, just like, yeah, you ain't got like I got it as we just smash a leg of turkey. So
it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been in that place. So
it has been
a nice place to be.
it has been a minute. It has been a minute because I think last year at this time Broncos were 6-5 through 11, which was really good considering. Which actually I think the year before they had gotten up to 6-5. I think, or 5-6. So they had gotten back to 500. I'm trying to remember if they got to, because they got 6-5, and then they were playing, I think it was Houston. And then I think that was the game where it all came down. Man, what a difference calendar makes. So let's brief the peeps on what we're doing today. So we're gonna Broncos. We're gonna go over some midseason awards. That's why we're talking about that. Who's MVP, all that stuff. Want to see what your thoughts are in the chat, as the kids say, apparently. And then we're going to talk about the locomotive runaway train that is the Colorado Avalanche. And just how historic what we're watching is, and hopefully we can gain some perspective on like how good this team is. And then, we'll also talk some Nuggets. We got, there's some re-ups for the Broncos over the last several days. You got Jim Morrow Jr. landing in Fort Collins. Huge get for the Rammies. It's so, really outside of Boulder right now. But even that, you know what? Julian Lewis, youngest kid like in college football. There's worse things in the world to be chatting about. So some really good stuff. We're excited about it. Let's get cracking with some sports. JT, what are we starting with?
Yeah, do you want to? We always end with the Broncos. Do you want to keep that, or do you want to start with the Broncos?
Let's do, just because I also haven't thought about the award yet, and I need my brain time to catch up.
All right, we'll talk about. Let's talk about the Avs. Why not?
Yeah, that's good because that's what I was pulling up. Nice job. Look at that. Can't even see you. Don't even reel for anything. All people know is your chat bot.
Fully AI.
But
yeah. Let's talk Avs. Avs are on a 9-game winning streak. I think they're 11-0-1 in their last 12. So they are just rolling. I think they've allowed the least amount of goals against in the league.
So hold on, in context really quick. So go back. So they give me their the cool record thingy that you just said.
Oh, that they have 9 wins in a row, or that
so 9 in a row. Yeah, 9 in a row to 11 to whatever you said, and reminding people with all of that awesomeness that DT just hit you with, this team is 16-1-5.
Yeah.
I mean, first 20 like 16. One regulation loss. It's kind of like the Broncos, man. It's like, right, Broncos haven't trailed in a game after zeros, or like before zeros in the fourth quarter. Avalanche only lost one game in 60 minutes. All the other games that they've lost, they've gotten a point in. It's just, 8-0 in the conference, 8-0 at home, 37 points. The closest is Dallas now at 32. And Dallas is like killing it for perspective.
For sure.
Like how good Dallas has been. Avalanche with almost a 73% winning percentage at this current moment in time. Like that's a really good free throw percentage. Like that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. And that's counting like the overtime losses in the percentage. Because without that, if you just go regulation wins and regulation losses, it's historical.
Yeah, I mean, they've played 20 games and they've played one game where they didn't pick up at least 1 point. It's not like it's like 5-game winning streak at the beginning of the season or 10 games even. We're 20 games in, essentially.
So through 20 games, became only the fourth team in NHL history, joining the 27-28 Canadiens, the 79-80 Flyers, the 2012-13 Chicago Blackhawks with one regulation loss in the last 20 years. So again, in 100 year of hockey, they are one of the 4 teams to start out the first 20 games in this. And also first time in Avalanche history that back-to-back shutouts on consecutive days. You and me had talked about with different goalies, even,
right.
And just like, it's like whatever's in the sauce is a working, and they're, they are plus 38. Plus 38. I think the next is plus 13. The gap between them and number 2 is more than number 2 has total. And
right.
That's just it's dominant. It's just and like a fighter, they're winning in every way. It's like slugfest offensive game. Like shut like right. It's just, and that's all without the power play not really being that great. And they're still the best offensive team and best defensive team in hockey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's impressive to say the least. You've got McKinnon, who is, arguably the best player in the league. That you've got Makar, who's obviously arguably the best defensive player in the league. And maybe one of the best players of the league, period, regardless of position. You're doing this without Nichushkin for a couple games now. You're doing this starting with your backup goaltender, who obviously, deserves a lot of kudos. Wedgwood has been amazing over the stretch. I think he'll continue to be good. I think he's got the faith of his teammates. He's got the locker room behind him. Even Blackwood has acknowledged that he's playing great, and it would be foolish to take him out of net. So we've got a 2 goalie system. We talked about this a little bit offline. It's just, it's a good problem to have. We know that, if one guy goes down, we've still got another guy behind him that's going to carry the load. And it's been a lot of fun to watch, even it's funny to see your team be so successful and then feel like there's still room for improvement. Like you said, with kind of the power play woes that have been going on. And, just kind of figuring out the lineups. I know Landeskog hasn't been super productive in his minutes, so they're trying to figure out exactly what to do with that second, third line. And so there's been there'll be a little bit of tinkering, I think, at some point, but it's really impressive. I think that right now, for every reason, they are the front runners when you're talking about, getting to the playoffs and competing for a Stanley Cup. And it's a lovely, lovely place to be for this team that has kind of underachieved the last couple of years. You come off winning a cup and you have some lackluster playoff runs. Some of that has to do with your personnel. Some of that has to do with the cap situation, guys needing to get paid, that sort of thing. But you found a sweet spot. I think the front office deserves a lot of credit for where this team is and what they've been able to do. And I just I don't know. It's a fun time to be an Avalanche fan. I mean, Colorado sports fan and Avalanche fan for.
Yeah, man, it's hard because I am a little worried because I feel like I'm getting a little bit of you, and like, when's it gonna go away? Like, it can't be this good.
Yeah,
you know.
For sure.
I mean, just they're having the puck in the other team's zone at a ridiculous. It's super special, and that's even with being in the bottom third in power play.
Yeah,
that's really the one area that they haven't been great at. Their penalty kill is top 5, which I think goes to show grit and selflessness, right? Like, I'll take that. I'll take all right power play team and having an elite power play kill, especially with the offensive capability this team has on 5-on-5. And so if I were to even say which one would I rather have struggling at this point in time, I think that, scoring with a man advantage or getting better at that probably will occur over time. Like, you'll just get better at it the more that you're playing together. All of those kind of things. And then, the fact that they figured out a really good penalty kill unit, I think just goes to sum up kind of what this team is about right now. And I'm super excited about that. I've already put money on them winning the cup. So I'm full in the sauce. And, knock on wood, I think obviously there are some key personnel losses that could happen if there's some injury. And I think that this group has shown some depth throughout, whether it's a net. It's, within the forward groups, it's the bottom, your bottom 6, that they have some guys that I think really are playing some phenomenal hockey and can contribute maybe even a little bit more. Saw them overcome Val's injury, or at least in doing so. You see Blackwood go down, and Scott Wedgwood plays out of his ever-loving mind. Kale, again, who's only 26. I think, like, understanding how great he is and the fact that he's got just so much more. He's got so much more hockey and, like, to develop and get better. Devon Taves just turned 30. Sam Girard is 26. Manson is 27. Val is 29. It just, like, we got some it's going to be good. And, like, I fight against the urge of, like, but will it not be good forever? When is it gonna? Loving it, man. It's just such good stuff right now. So, what do you think? I mean, if we're to blink and it's, it's halfway through the season, do you feel like, not necessarily the one loss pace, but being able to keep and maintain the President Trophy gap, right? Like, 4 or 5 points ahead of whoever's in second or third. So right now, being at they were at 5 now, but they were at 7 to start the day. Do you think that this is a group that can continue to maintain the kind of front running pace? Do you feel like, we're in line for a drop or what?
Yeah, I think, there's no reason to think, bar some sort of major injury, that they're going to have a big fall off. It's not like they've played a really soft schedule. I think we'll talk about Nuggets here in a little bit, but you could argue, strength of schedule for them. Maybe they've started hotter than anticipated because of that. Avs are not in that situation. They've played some good teams. They've gotten wins against good teams. So I don't anticipate really much backslide, except, I guess there's the the chance that the season just starts getting long and maybe they lose a little bit of momentum, a little bit of drive as they're kind of waiting for the postseason to come around. But this team is locked in right now. There's no reason to think that, in my mind, there's no reason to think that they won't just keep trying to handle business and proving their stuff. And even when they play lackluster games, we saw the last couple games that have been pretty ones, they still find ways to win. Brent Burns comes out and scores a goal early a couple nights ago, and then they just kind of hold on until the end of the game, put 2 more in the third period, and that's it. Or against the Blackhawks, the offense isn't working, but defense and goaltending is there on those nights, and you take care of business in shootout. So it's just they're finding ways to win. It's not always the same. Yeah. It's different guys. You've got your key guys that are contributing night in and night out, like McKinnon and McCarr, but up and down the lines, you're finding guys who are going to be able to contribute, and there's no reason to think that, in my mind, that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah. I think that's it really is. It's hopefully we're all loving it. It's who would have thought that? Yeah, it's a fun group. I mean, they're really they're ahead of, outside of the penalty or the power play. Sorry, penalty, power play. They're by far and away ahead of their of the cup run in every other statistical category when it comes to offensive efficiency, goal percentage. I mean, just all the stuff. They penalty kill, all of those things. It's just a significantly better unit from jump. And so, I think outside of just fatigue, the one aspect I worry about is the Olympics, and the wear and tear on those guys. But was the Olympics their last run, or the World Fortnite? I don't even know. It just there's so many things. I hope that isn't the thing. But I think really that or a catastrophic loss, I think are really the only things that are going to disrail this team. And the Stanley Cup playoffs are its own bear for sure. But you gotta really like where you're
at. Yeah. And I'll give props to Evan Rowell on X said maybe they should be considering Scott Wedgwood for Canadian goaltender. Just putting it out there. People would have laughed at that at the beginning of the season, but now, given his numbers, he deserves some love. I don't know if it'll end up happening because there's some big names, obviously, for Team Canada. But I thought that was interesting. Guys, I don't know I don't remember exactly how old Wedgwood is, but 30, 32, 33, something like that. And kind of finding his prime, it's fun to see. We've got Wedgwood doing that. We got Aaron Gordon doing that. When he was healthy. Mm-hmm. It's fun to see these guys kind of hitting different that next level of their career where they're still unlocking skills and kind of finding themselves and finding their identity. So just a fun little tweet that I saw, but I liked that. Want to transition to Nuggets talk?
Yeah, of course I do. I mean, it's all good. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, it's still good.
It's not as good just based on just sheer awesomeness, but it's still pretty dope.
Sure. I mean, you're not first. Nuggets aren't first. They're third right now, tied with the Lakers, same record. 8-2 over the last 10. They are, Nikola Jokic looks like the best player in the world still, which is, I don't think anyone's too surprised by. But, he goes out against the Grizzlies yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, Monday, and drops a casual triple-double, not super high scoring, but 16 dimes. Dude leads the league in assists. He leads the league in rebounding. He's top 5 in scoring. And, just when you think he can't outdo his statistics from last year, he's kind of on an all-efficiency tear, and it's amazing to behold. It's nice to have a team that has some depth. We've got some injuries right now that's made things difficult for this team. But when you have the best player in the world and your second fiddle guy is playing like an all-star, it's nice. Just kind of your takeaway so far with the Nuggets, the last week or so, given some of the injuries that they've taken. Christian Brown's been down. He's going to be out for about 6 weeks. Aaron Gordon's probably going to be 6 to 8 weeks with a hamstring. What do you want to see from the Nuggets kind of coming up over this next month or so? Obviously you want them to continue to win. Who are the kind of your key players for them to continue to be able to do that?
Well, okay. Well, outside of Jokic, who's just
absolute
machine, right? So, because right now you got a team that is top 5 in most offensive statistics, while also playing at kind of a slower-ish pace. So bottom 10 in terms of points, which shows just how efficient and effective that they are.
Yeah.
They're in the middle third in kind of defensive rating. So really like kind of at least where they're at. Really, if they're a solid defensive team and you are an effective and very efficient and effective offensive team, to think that you will be able to be all of, I think is a really big challenge. And knowing who you are and leaning in, I think is a good spot to be at. If I were to say who I expect, it's interesting because it's probably the name I would have came up with last. I do think kind of what Jamal Murray is doing is really quiet and underappreciated maybe right now because there's the newness of the bench. Peyton Watson, who you and I were talking about kind of before we hopped on, excelling, the shiny new toys coming on board. And so you maybe feel like there's some more shine in some of those aspects. But, Jamal came into the season, at least as it was reported, with a much different mentality, physical conditioning, kind of looked like he had taken the off season, taken a different step in preparation in the off season. Right now he's averaging a little over 23 a game, a little over 4.5 rebounds a game, almost 7 assists a game, which is 2 up from his career high. His points are up 5 from his kind of career numbers. Free throws percentage almost at 90%, 38% from 3, almost 48 from the floor. His efficiency rating is one of the highest it's been in his career. And so I think you were pushing to have the Robin show up and play up to his capability. And he's answered the bell, and I think he's done so in a way that has been consistent. So you're not having like the 40 burger and then the 11, you're having a pretty consistent presence throughout the season. And so, right now I'm really excited about where Jamal is and has been, and the fact that it's been consistent. I think that maybe this is his all-star season, and something that I know that he's probably been searching for, waiting for. And I think maybe this is it. And right now he's the guy that has upped his game that they needed. They needed him to play closer to a star status as a max player, and I think he's doing so. Yeah, man, it's definitely a jump. He is definitely, there should be, if not, I think he's pretty well. It's been pretty well acknowledged, his numbers so far this year, but. I mean, he could be, if he gets a little bit more efficient, he could be a 50, 40, 90 guy, as far as percentages go. He's at 89% from the free throw line, almost 40% from 3, and just under 50% from the field. And really that's overcoming his first 2 games. His first 2 games were atrocious.
Yeah,
6 of 17, 4 of 15. Against the Clippers, 5 of 16, and against the Pelicans, 5 of 14. Right, so he's had like some clunkers, and then without those, he's significantly better shooter, and it's like those are his down games for sure. But I appreciate that he's coming back the next night, putting up 14, putting up 16 shots, putting up 18 shots, putting up 21 shots, and you're getting then some bounce back production, whether it's 29 points, 23 points, 26 points, 34 points. He's really, even over the last 6 games, he's the lowest he's had is 15. I guess even the season low is 14. So you got to really like what he's done. So I'm happy there. I think, why don't you give me yours? Because I got another one I want to highlight, but I don't want to take yours because I think I might before I get done.
Yeah, I mean, I could go a bunch of ways on this. I mean, I think that let's go perfect world. Perfect world is that for me is Cam Johnson kind of hitting that next level with the Nuggets.
Yep.
I think that his shooting has improved recently. He's been much more efficient from 3-point. I think if we can kind of see him maintain that, add a little bit of offensive execution in there, I think with AG being out and kind of having Spencer Jones in that starting unit right now, it kind of opens up some opportunity for him to be a ball handler and an initiator on offense. I like to see them, create a few more actions for him in games. I think that would go a long way to kind of getting him more comfortable in the system. And not to say that he's looked uncomfortable, especially of late, but I just think that, we had such high expectations for him coming into the season. I think it would be very rewarding at this point with some guys down for him to kind of find that chemistry with Jokic, find that chemistry with Jamal. It's been a little bit slow coming, but it's on the rise. But I think in the next month or so, it could take another step in the right direction. It would feel like, rolling into the new year, rolling into February, maybe they'll start with health, if everyone's healthy, kind of them falling or finding their form. And I think he's kind of that last piece that you really need to find some consistency with that starting group.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, right? So he was inactive against the Clippers, against the Timberwolves after probably getting nicked up a little bit against the Clippers. And then since then, 19, 14, 9, 20, and 18. And so I think, he really, outside of a good game early, had essentially had 3 double-figure games in the first in about a month. And for a guy that you're really looking to contribute for next level, that's just not going to cut it. And then since then, really, so over the last week and a half, last 10 days, you have only one game where you're not scoring in double digits. And you still come out on a positive -3. So guy that's not ultra contributing, but a guy that's holding his own. If he gets to the 14 to 18 consistent, efficient, hitting threes and knocking down free throws, I think that this game will be pretty dangerous. I think it's pretty safe to say that that contribution will be super important. The game against the Kings the other night was disappointing for everyone, but I thought that was his most confident showing. Just only game over 20 points this year, but it seemed like the hesitation wasn't there. It seemed like his willingness to be ready to shoot 4 for 7 from 3, but still, and then 3 of 4 from inside the arc. So it wasn't just feast or famine outside of where you're getting it from distance, but you're too scared to take it in. Didn't see that, and then bounce back the next game and score an 18 on another efficient night. 3 of 6 from inside inside the arc, 6-10 from three. So back-to-back games shooting 60+% from three, and averaging probably about 60% over the last 5 games from three. And to me, that's if he's a guy that shoots 45%, that's gonna. Beckport Jr. was good from three last year, but it wasn't like you could count on it being 4 of 10 every game, right? It was gonna be 8 of 10, 2 of 10, 1 of 5, 4 of 5, right? It was going to be feast or famine. And I feel like Cam Johnson's at least getting in a place where you know what you're going to expect from him shooting the basketball. I think if you can do that with some of the headiness still, I think that's going to be a really big. So I really like that. I think he's coming into his own a little bit. And sometimes injuries, you don't want people to get hurt, but they also can be a blessing in disguise. And I think, for Peyton Watson, who we'll finish up so we can get to Broncos talk. With Christian going down and with AG going down, I think you've got to see the maturation of Peyton Watson, who, to me was a really good trade chip for a while, because I just didn't think with this team's window, one, did he have the humility to play bench minutes?
Sure.
And, did he have the maturity to improve his offensive game? And, tell me if this isn't a good last 10 days. 12 points. Sure. Not bad. 5 points, 32 points, 9 points, 15 points, 27 points. It's in the games really that he's been allowed to play and to shine. The team has won and won so in some pretty dominant fashion. Chicken and egg, I don't know. I'm not going to do all that stuff. I'm definitely not going to entertain they are better off with him at the 4 than Aaron Gordon. Never. But if he's a guy that you can finagle a Christian Brown contract in and find a way to stay under the second apron, good golly, this is kind of the guy that you hoped. Right now this season, shooting 50% from the field, 30 or 40% from three, and free throw percentage at about 73%. So not bad, averaging almost 10 a game, almost 5 rebounds. And if he can continue the upward arc to get to 12, 14 points a game, which he's kind of shown over the last little bit, I think he's earned the opportunity to continue to get some pretty good minutes, especially as the season goes on. Let AG sit. The guy doesn't need to average 35 minutes. You need him fresh on the floor when he's out there, especially in crunch time. But what P-Dub brings is the length and tenacity, and the fact that he's shooting the 3 ball. He said, even this isn't direct quote, but I'm shooting the corner 3 at an elite status. Yeah, and he is. He's shooting the ball with confidence. 6'8" with a 7 whatever wingspan, the bounce, and then is able to shoot the 3 at a really high clip. And that's what you hope for. And so it's a good problem to have, but definitely got to give him his props. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., both you and I are a fan of what he's doing, the professionalism that he brings and consistency off the bench. He's been a better 3-point shooter than I even thought he was going to be coming in. Yeah. I thought maybe, he wasn't a guy that I pictured as just like a shooter, right? I remember him being kind of the on the ball guard and being a guy that needed the ball in his hands. And I think that he's shown his evolution as a basketball player to be a guy that can work off the pick and roll or action, or he can be a guy that can be ready to shoot a 3 when you've got Nikola Jokic serving him up. And so he was my favorite offseason addition. I thought Bao was great for just the backup center, but I thought having that guy he just has something about him, man. I think it's the Hardaway-ness. His dad had the same, just kind of like quiet, cocky confidence. Tim, his dad didn't have to say anything, but just look at you and you knew that he knew he was good. For sure. And I don't think Junior has that same I don't think he's maybe even the same level as his dad was in the
Sure.
era that they did. But what I appreciate about that is kind of like Gary Payton Jr. He hasn't tried to be, has really leaned into that, and to come here for $2.3 million to come run a ring when he probably could be starting for the Wizards or whatever, the Grizzlies.
Right.
Team. I think goes to show just what kind of professional, you brought in with him and Bowen. And so, man, Bruce Brown, not Bowen. That's Ryan Bowen. Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
To put it together. So, all good things. Anything you want to throw in there as I monopolize the rest of the time before we go talk about our Broncos?
Just to touch back on Peyton Watson, it'll be interesting to see what they do. He is kind of playing himself into a tough contract position for the Nuggets, and I don't know what that means for him, or as far as for him with the team moving forward, especially having just played Christian Brown. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But the guy deserves it. The way he's playing.
Yeah, what's weird is like he's played so well now. Now he's put himself in a place where he went from being a really good trade chip, and maybe you go and you get a seasoned vet on a similar cost deal for a playoff run. Now he's playing into it where maybe he's more valuable to keep him and lose him for this run than he would be and what he could bring back. And I think that goes to show a ton of his growth here. It's got to be hard knowing like how physically gifted you are at something, right? And not being able to shine at it, and knowing that you're capable. Like I think I could be pretty good. And biding your time and learning how to play with this team, and then hearing his growth too in interviews, things like that, about giving credit to Nikola and the guys for believing in him, and just kind of a team focus still of I'm still a part of this unit while also trying to recognize that he's playing really good basketball. I think it goes to show a lot. I don't know if that's a lot of Malone influence and we're getting to see it with some of these guys, or we're getting to see it because Malone's not here. Love what Mike brought. I'm not going to besmirch him, but I do think it's interesting in just how this group has formed, as Norm formed as kind of a strong group, and how much of that has to do with Adelman taking over, who to me, again, like nice job to the Cronkies for figuring out this front office and coaching mess swiftly as they did, and it's paying off. Like this is just a well put together basketball team and well coached basketball team. And we were talking about this in May of like, holy crap, like, do we got to blow it up? You got coach with GM drama. Like this is movie stuff.
They're talking about potentially trading Jamal, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was the first time too that Nikola Jokic, like, is it better if he leaves? Right? Like, 4 months before that would even be on the breath of anyone in Colorado. And then it's just like, dear goodness, right? If Giannis is flirting with leaving, we got a weirder situation here. Is that something? So, it's a great place to sit. And so with that, let's do a real quick rundown of our other shows. JT. Hold on, let me hit it. Why don't you go tell everyone what's cracking on the Orange and Blue Network?
Yep. We got Broncos coverage pretty much every day. Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. You've got Orange and Blue Blitz. You've got Broncos Bros. Monday at 7 p.m. Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue. Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, you've got us at 2:30, and you also have Broncos Talk at 6 p.m. So more Broncos Talk this evening if you are interested. Thursday at 7 p.m. What's that last word? Mile High.
What you're asking.
I still can't read it, man. It's the font. I can't do it.
That's a good question. We're gonna
out.
Oh, the Outcast. Yeah.
Outcast. Thank you. That was the C. I couldn't tell what it was. I don't know if it's Outcast or Outlast. Sorry, guys.
Or the Outlast.
Yeah, they Outlast because they are elite outcasts. And then in Spanish, Viva Los Broncos, Fridays at 5 p.m. Breaking news. We've got Fresh Squeeze pregame You've got Get Bucked, play-by-play and post-game. You've got the bucking booth and every game day, buck your feelings. So lots and lots and lots and lots of Broncos coverage for you. Feel free to always tune in. All the guys on the network are great. We support them fully and completely, and we appreciate them fully and completely, and are thankful for them on this Thanksgiving week for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Good peeps doing good stuff about a good product. It's a good time to be a Bronco fan. And then with that, because you know what, I got to stay up a lot to eat a lot. Thanksgiving, get you some Dubby, no sugars, no calories, no gross stuff. If you want to save a little bit of money, use our code Orange and Blue Network 10 or Bonix. Get 10% off the order at the checkout. Get you some. It's not too shabby, not gonna lie. And then finally, if you get a chance, go like, subscribe, comment for the algorithms. Appreciate you, Joe, for the like on Jump. If you're on, whether you're on X or what have you, give us an opportunity to get over to YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, even if you go back and watch it later, watch it with your friends, whatever, no big deal. But we appreciate you. And with that, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Where'd you go? There you are. Hi.
Yeah. I don't know anymore. We got to talk Broncos. So maybe before we jump into midseason awards, some of you came up with some. I'm excited to hear what you got. Talk about a little bit of procedural stuff. So over the last week, oftentimes within the NFL structure, the bye week or when some deals can get really hammered out because you're not scouting the next thing, all this stuff. You can put some energy in being able to hammer out some deals. And the Broncos, again, the Walton Penner Group, first class and handling their effing business, as the kids would say. They wouldn't say that because they're good. You will sign, or you re-sign Big Nuts Lutz to a 3-year extension.
Yep.
Yes. When you're a team that's winning on the margins, you need a kicker that will help make sure that you're on the plus side of margins. And what a difference, right? Because I think his first game in Denver against the Raiders, I think he shanked 2 kids. Like, I think it
was ugly early.
It was not great. Fast forward to now, he's the most accurate kicker in the history of Broncos football. And you got Jason Elam, you got Prater, you got McManus, Rich Carlos, who is a phenomenal kicker, even David Treadwell for any of you.
Yeah.
Great kicker. I mean, I've been pretty fortunate here. It's weird. Been fortunate here to have some good kickers. But he's right now statistically the best. And it was on display in upsetting the Chiefs, who suck. From there, a move that you and I will talk about. I don't know if we'll have time today, but re-signing Luke Wackenberg, 4-year deal, making him, I think, the 6th highest paid center.
Yeah, 5th or 6th.
It's in the top 6 at least.
Yeah,
and hopefully one that ages well, but a guy I think that you and I both thought was replacement level in terms of
for sure.
If you're going to save some money, saving it there. But as of right now, the Broncos offensive line is under contract for this season, the next 2. There are some outs in guaranteed money over the next couple of seasons with Ben Powers, which if they cut some savings, that might be it. But he was having his best season before the injury, so we'll kind of see how that goes. And then Malcolm Roach signs to a 3-year deal, who I think you and I are huge Roach fans.
Yeah, I like Roach a lot. I was glad to see it.
And that was a sneaky one. Yeah, it's super glad to see it. And I think recognizing that JFM has earned the opportunity to go make bank, and do so kind of outside of the Broncos. You can't pay everybody, but they're paying almost everybody.
Yeah.
On top of getting the deal for Nick done, Benito done, you got Zach Allen lined up. You brought in Tono Hufunga, Evan Ingram, Trey Greenlaw. You got Cooper done the year before that. You got Sutton done before the year. Bo Nix on his rookie deal. We talked about just maximizing this window. They don't have a starting caliber player hitting free agency, unrestricted free agency, other than Justin Strnad and Alex Singleton. And John Franklin Myers, sorry. So you have 2 players. you know what's really interesting is my son never remembers to turn off the light in the basement, is where I'm at, and he just did. The only time ever.
Only time you
For sure.
don't want them to.
The only time yep. And if any of you have kids on the spectrum, you know what I'm talking about, and just why he remembered now. We'll go from there. But super excited to see that. You know, so you have Wazirike still on contract next year. DJ Jones, who get re-upped back next year. Jordan Jackson will be a restricted free agent. Savion Jones coming back. So you bring the whole gang back except John Franklin Myers, which who knows? I didn't think they were going to sign Wattenberg. I figured they'd save some cash. You know, maybe they, you know, give him some cash in a 1-year deal that reduces some cap hit next year. But just we're in the window, man. We are in the window, and
for sure. You
know, and we thought that this year was big jump window, but not all the way to there. I think that's a Super Bowl window right now, and rightfully so. You have your team at 9-2, the best start for the Denver Broncos since 2013. Wow. I'm trying to think the 2025 or the 2015 team. I just remember they were 10-4 at one point. So I don't think that there was a 7-0 start. They lost 2, and then I think they won and lost and won and lost. They got to 10-4, and that's when they pulled the last 2 out of their hat with a bat and a 6'4" Impala. Right. And so, So I mean, it's in all everything. This is the best Super Bowl opportunity in a decade, and I think that's at least safe to say. And so, with that, as we get ready for the Commanders, which it's funny. It's like you thought you were going to get Bo Nixon, Joe Burrow, Nixon,
right,
and Jane Daniels, battle of 1 and 2. You got Browning, and you're going to get Marcus Mariota. But you know what, though? In a playoff hunt, cool. I don't need to beat all the really good teams. I just need to beat the teams on the thing. So with that, we're going to go over some awards. Okay, so we have a few kind of run-of-the-mill obvious ones, and then I think JT might have a couple that I didn't get together. And so to go with them maybe backwards even, if you want to do that so that we maybe land on the MVP.
You would do MVP last?
Just for those that sound good to you or kind of fair on.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So I'm going to do newcomer of the year. So I'm actually going to ask it without the rookies. So I don't think any of the rookies would be better than maybe in those. So just for your opinion, real quick, fire it off. Who is your newcomer of the year?
I mean, I think there's one answer, and it's Talanoa Hufanga. And to be honest, I don't think it's really close. I think you could have made the argument for JK before he got hurt. But Hufanga's just been he just fits this culture of this team so well. What they ask him to do is exactly what he wants to do on the field, and that just makes him such a good fit here. He's so diverse in what he can do. He closes on the ball so well. It was coming off of injuries, you know, for both the guys we got from the Niners. It's been nice just to see him out there, active, physical, and just bringing a whole different layer than we got. No shade to PJ Locke, but it's just nice to have that guy in the building. It's just nice to have him kind of heading that defense and really kind of shaping that identity towards toughness and tenacity as opposed to what we had last year. So I think that's got to be the answer this year.
I mean, I have a man crush on him, so but I think also adding the fact that, you know, in one of those games, maybe he even cost us, not single-handedly, but he contributed negatively to our chance to win in Los Angeles. And I think lesser guys, would have put the onus on someone else or maybe even let that dictate how they play for the rest of the season. And not only, I think, has he regulated where he's playing within the whistle and within the bounds, he hasn't slowed up his tenacity. And he has been everything I hoped for when when the draft process, we've talked about it quite a bit, enough to know that I was kind of in love from the college scouting. And so sometimes though, when you get a player that you really liked, it's never as good as you thought it was going to be. And it's like, oh, like that's such a good get for the Broncos. And they get here, and you watch it day to day, and you're like, oh, that's probably why the 49ers let him go. That's why I'm proud of sense. I know that they put 100% energy in trying to get Dre Greenlaw back, and in the limited time that he's been on the field, he's been tremendous. And why did they not? Talon Hufanga is absolute baller, just absolute baller. And I think the tenacity that he's brought, especially because Dre's been out, he has brought the nasty to this team, which I think was the piece that they missed. They were good, they were a solid team, but I don't think offenses were scared of them. And I think with Talon Hufanga, they are. So I concur. So unanimously, we're going to select Talon Hufanga as the newcomer of the year. JT, next award up to you.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let's do. Who's the most underrated player on this Broncos team? Who do you think is the most?
Yeah. So go a little unsung hero action.
Yeah, a little unsung hero, a little like plug and play,
Yep. Yeah, I think my unsung hero has been J-Mac. I think Jaquan McMillan has been considering that he should be on the bench. You draft the first round pick. You got Riley outside, Pat. Like your best three corners should be those three. And to me, I think he's second to Pat right now and how well he's played. And he has changed my opinion, not only of him as a player in the short term, day to day, being on the field, but has changed my opinion on him being a fixture here. You don't draft someone 20th overall in Jahdae Barron. And, I think Riley Moss is one of the better number twos in the league and probably would be a low end one.
Yeah.
If, obviously penalties aside, when he's not being called for penalty, which you can't take that out of the equation. But even with that, he's still a significantly better option than most teams have at their one, let alone their two. I think what Jaquan has done in really learning and improving and perfecting that nickel slot role has been the difference. I think without him, they don't beat the Chiefs, I don't think. Or, because of his play, I didn't have doubt that they were going to win, right? Timely sacks, interception, sticky coverage, his ability to body up bigger receivers for a smaller guy, I think has improved too. So I'm going to give him the Unsung Hero award for 2025. I think all the chips were stacked up against him to not succeed. And not only has he held serve, he's went above and beyond. And so J-Mac, nice job. Please check your mailbox for your award that won't be coming.
Yeah. It's not in our budget, unfortunately.
It's not in the budget. Our budget's pretty low. And
pretty low. Yeah.
Pretty low.
I think your answer is probably the right one. I'm gonna give some love to Garrett Bowles though.
I love that. That's good. Yep.
It's funny because I think if you said this 4 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe it doesn't quite ring as true, but he's just a guy that has been a picture of consistency for this team. He's kept his quarterback clean. He has the mentality that you want for this team. Bo Nix certainly trusts him to keep the pocket clean. He's done a great job of doing that this year.
And leadership, I don't think it could be understated about the development challenges that he had based on his upbringing. Some disabilities that he's talked about, and he wasn't supposed to make it, right? Like he's not supposed to be here. And the beginning of his career, I think we all felt like, yeah, probably not, right? Garrett Holds was named for a reason. And not only has he pushed through that, he has gotten even better and better. And, when Ryan Ramczyk, who they were drafted in the same draft class, right? I loved Ramczyk, thought he was going to be he would have been a great, that was the one that got away. We got Garrett Holds, they got an all-pro. Ramczyk is retired. 3 years younger than Garrett Bowles is retired. Yeah. Garrett looks like he's just hitting his stride. So I really love that one. I think it's a really tremendous thing to be able to acknowledge what Garrett's done, and not only turning himself into a good player, but an elite player and presence in the locker room. Considering all of those things, I think, I can say, you know what, we're going to co-op it. We're going to co-op. We're going to have unsung heroes. Jake,
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Just to hammer that home, 727 offensive snaps played, 4 penalties, 0 sacks allowed. So pretty elite stuff.
Yep, and your left tackle. I've heard that they go up against really hard people.
Yeah.
And so with that, maybe let's do rookie of the year.
Okay.
So who's your rookie of the year?
This one's tricky for me.
Yep, that's how I roll. Trick.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go Pat Bryant.
I think that's the right answer.
I'm gonna go Pat Bryant. I really like what we've seen out of RJ Harvey up to this point. They've been able to utilize him in the pass catching game. I think he will continue to get better as a runner. I like what we've seen from Jahdae Barron at times. He's a great tackler, great in pursuit, great coming downhill, but just not kind of the same stat volume. Pat Bryant is kind of rounding into form right now. It feels like he's kind of climbing his way up the depth chart. It feels like, maybe not officially, but as far as what he brings to the field, blocking, sure hands, ability to run routes, kind of just finding his place on the field right now as a rookie. It's been impressive to watch the last couple of weeks for sure. And he is someone that I know we both liked. He was one of your guys in the draft that you were super excited about, that we both felt had some outside wide receiver 2 upside. Yeah. We'll see if he gets that opportunity. I think he should probably get in the free agent class at wide receiver, unless they go and draft someone in the first round. Sure. But Pat Bryant's going to have opportunities to kind of fight for that wide receiver 2 slot. And right now he's kind of making strides in my mind. So that's where I landed on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to add fluff. I think he's been tremendous, and even nose to the grindstone. Like, he comes in, knows he's blocking. Essentially, he makes Trent Sherfield expendable. Obviously, little Jordan Humphrey being able to come over, but Pat started taking his snaps because of his ability to block, which I think goes to show just coming in and recognizing where you can be valuable, team first, and start winning. So I'm all for it. I think that's the right answer. Next award to you. So
yeah, let's go best moment so far this season. I'm still trying to decide what I think it is. Been a lot of good moments this season. There's been a lot of close games. And I don't know exactly which one I want to pick.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the schedule. I should have probably prepped this a little bit better.
I mean, I'll start because I think maybe there's 2. I think this previous Sunday, I think winning in walk-off fashion, how poetic, right?
Yeah.
I think it was from the same, 35 yards was the same distance too about the block kick the year before.
Yeah.
And so being able to kind of beat the Chiefs at their own game, win a close game, you come from behind. Also, you make clutch plays. Onyx outplays Patrick Mahomes. Right? Your coaches outcoach the best coaching staff, right? Like, just all the things, and the high that it gets you in. And I think that really gave Broncos country the validity, and that this team is different, and this team has an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with that. I think that there are a ton, but I'm going to go there.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it counts as a moment, but I just think that the comeback against,
that was the other right answer.
The Giants.
I assumed that you would land there. So I took a faith that we would.
Thanks for leaving me the low hanging fruit. I appreciate it, because sometimes I need that. I mean, I think it's a statement win for that team, even though, the Giants record is not very good. I think they're an up and coming team. I think they're a team that's going to be good, sooner than later, in the NFL. And I think that the Broncos probably didn't love how they played through the first 3 quarters, and decided to turn it around and led by Bo Nix. They took over the fourth quarter and did what they needed to do, put their nose to the grindstone, forgot about all the stuff before that, and were able to pull out a victory that kept that streak alive and continues to keep that streak alive. So that's probably where I would land on that. But lots of good moments so far this season. I'm sure there's more good ones to come, and hopefully some good playoff moments. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I think for a team that lost so many games, one score or walk off, even earlier this season, right? Their 2 losses are walk off kicks to show resiliency and then be able to have a tremendous comeback walk off kick. Dominate the Chiefs really, but being able to put them away walk off kick, I think is absolutely the right answers. Just shows, I think, the tenacity and resolve of this team. Our last 2, we're going to do defensive MVP.
Yep.
So, JT, who is your defensive MVP?
Oh, it's a tough one. So many options. It's hard because it's such a good unit. It's hard to pick one guy. I mean, you see guys have moments all over the place. I guess with the injury to Pat Surtain, I'm not going to pick Pat, even though he's probably the easiest choice. I want to give it to, and this may be, I'm going to go a little outside the box with this.
Okay.
But I'm going to give it to Riley Moss.
Oh.
He has been targeted a lot. He's had some penalties. He, I think, arguably has the most difficult job in the league. And with Pat Surtain out, he's continued to play at a high level. That secondary really, I mean, I can't say they haven't lost a step because Pat's Pat, but they are winning their battles. They are, they're creating opportunities for this team, and it begins and ends with that secondary. At times, they've just been able to really, when the front line doesn't get the pressure quickly, they're able to hold on for 5, 6, 7 seconds. Well, maybe not 7, 3, 4, 5, 7 seconds. And I just think the adversity he's overcome is a lot this season. It's been talked about a lot, just kind of nationally. I think he's got a lot of haters and a lot of guys that love him. And I know it's a bit of a swerve, but I think that he's really solidified himself as a CB2, which is something that I wasn't sure he was going to do coming into the season, to be honest.
Yeah,
I thought with Jade Barron coming in, that it was a possibility that he was, going to get usurped at some point. But right now, he's holding his spot, he's holding his own, and I'm been really impressed by him.
Yeah, this one's hard because I think depending on when you asked, the answer is going to be different. I think just the most improved player this year. We're gonna go quickly through this one and give this one to Justin Strnad because I think he's playing really good football in moments where he's been, but the defense has really kind of taken turns a little bit on who is it. But I think the when your best players play the best, and so I think Talanoa Hufanga has been MVP-ish, but I think Nick Bonito has been I think his ability to get sacks, and especially early, I think created credibility for this team and showed that he put his money where his mouth is. He did the work off season and came in ready to go, got paid, didn't lose it. I think watching teams have to continue to gear up to stop him has allowed other guys to really get on track and make themselves some money, and hasn't bitched or complained when he hasn't got that. And so I know he's kind of fell back in the sack leading race, but I think he's played tremendous football, and you see him dropping coverage quite a bit, and not necessarily that should be what you want him to do, but PFF gave him a 70 grade and dropping back, which for a pass rusher, kind of goes to selflessness. And so I'm gonna give it to Nick. I think Nick has been all that and a bag of potato chips. And so I think our co-MVP, I think, is a fitting thing. I think Riley has the hardest job in football right now,
Yeah.
and continues to show up. And I think with Pat being out, he's played some of his best football, and hopefully that and the recognition from the refs to kind of write some whistles is there too. So love that for us, Riley and Nyak. Great job. I know when you're watching, so let us know what you think, and we'll send you over a little goodie bag. Offensive MVP. This one's a little harder.
Yeah, it is hard. Why don't you start?
Oh, okay. Because you don't know. I think it's J.K. Dobbins. I think the fact that he's out, notwithstanding, I think offensively he's been the best player on this team. He's been the most consistent. I think he's probably top 3 in most valuable period, where I think that they will do some things to mitigate the loss of JK. But the guy was on pace for like 1,300 yards, which hasn't happened in Denver in a long time. And in the locker room was that guy. And I think that loss will be pretty big. And I don't know that they will figure it out. They're going to have to adapt accordingly, because his patience, his vision, his ability to pick up, make a 2-yard run 4 yards and 4-yard run 8 yards. And so it wasn't a ton of lopsided big runs, kind of like with RJ Harvey, where it's really feast or famine. He was consistent, and the one thing that this team could lean on, and his ability to be consistent, I think led to wins, led to the Broncos being able to play defensive-minded football and come out on top. So if the season were to end now, offensive MVP for me, it would be J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right pick. I mean, obviously we know the season's over, so that hurts our feelings a little bit. Yeah. I think you could throw Garrett Bowles in there. I think you could throw Quinn Miners in there. Not from obviously a statistics standpoint.
Just PFF, you have the number 3 tackle and the number 2 guard in all of football.
Yeah.
I mean, those are
exactly. So
not gospel, but recognize, put some respect on their name.
Yep. But I think JK brought something that we needed pretty desperately. And even though, that's gone now, at least for the season, he kind of got this offense off to a good start and kind of let RJ Harvey build up this season before the load's going to hit him now. So I think it's been overall a really nice acquisition for them, and he deserves some praise for sure.
I agree. Well, that's it for our awards. How do we want to conclude this? Talk a little quick keys to the game prediction, or what do you think?
Yeah, let me say this though. I'm very close. I was very close to saying Bo Nix is the offensive or MVP of this team. I think we've talked a lot, and I think how I feel about the receiving core on this team, about their the weapons that they have. I think that it's a really difficult position that they put him in and game out, and I think that the play calling is a little quirky at times, and so it's a tough situation for him to be in. It's a good situation too, as far as the team and defense and how the units are built. But I think week to week it can get really, really tricky to figure out where your next play is going to come from. And he is pretty unflappable. He's poised. He's the guy that you want in command when the game comes down to the fourth quarter. And I think you like your chances with him as your quarterback when the game gets tight or when those situations arise. So I want to say that, giving love to Bo Nix. Obviously some up and down moments this year, maybe not quite the year we were expecting, but I think that he is doing the best with what he's got as far as offensive talent goes, and I think that he deserves some love for that.
Yeah, you know what? The fact that he has been unflappable. And mind you, the games that he's played his worst in, they have found ways to win. So he didn't play well against the Chargers game. He didn't play well.
Right.
But against Indy, he did. 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, had a pick, but was extremely efficient and effective with the football. And he has been a reason why they have won some of the games that have been the ugliest on his plate. So I agree with that. I think that's something to note. And I think, like last year, I would be shocked if his stats for the rest of the season don't kind of positively reflect who the player is going to be moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, predictions. You want to predict this game real quick versus the Commanders?
Yeah, so again, Broncos, Commanders, and what's his face? Jaden Daniels, not going to be there.
Right.
Big deal, I've heard in some circles.
A little bit.
A little bit. It is a Sunday night game. It is across the pond. Just kidding. It's a nation's capital. And coming off of a bye. So I think it's, how to make of it. I don't know. Do you think that this team is a team that will continue to rise to the occasion, or, do they get fat and happy hearing all the good stuff about them? I think that this game is a Broncos game to win. I think with Jaden Daniels and what he brings as a rushing threat would have been a pretty fun matchup with the Broncos and their cage rush.
Yeah.
We'll see that. Defensively, they have really good talent, and not really good. Not really good defensively.
Yeah, otherwise not too good.
Otherwise, not too good. They are like 3-8 for a reason, or whatever they are.
Yeah,
not great though. So I'm not going to go in the total confidence and the they should win going away, but they should win going away. I do think that the Commander offense will be a little bit better than they've been. I think, Terry McLaurin, I think, will be back this week, if I recall. Laremy Tunsil has been really good for them. Mariota, at least statistically, has been a good player. Some of that's in the, in mop-up duty. But the Broncos defense, I think, it will be a significant challenge. I feel really bad for Josh Connerly Jr., the right tackle, who's had some played better of late, has been kind of a mess. He's going to have a rough day. And I think the Broncos win. I think they win 24-13 and come back sitting atop of the AFC once again.
Yep, I'm with you. I had 24-14, and so I think we're pretty simpatico there. I think that, I think the Commanders have some talented players, but I think for the most part, I think you feel confident that both of your units, especially with Mariota at quarterback, are the superior units. And I think this defense is just nasty. I don't think they take weeks off. So coming off a bye, I don't think it matters very much. I think if anything, they're well rested. They're ready to get back after it, and they're going to go take Mariota down probably 5 or 6 times at least.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost 6 games in a row, lost 7 out of 8. They, gave up 44 to Dallas, 28 to a Chiefs team that Broncos throttled, 38 to Seattle, 44 to Detroit, and then lost to Miami, who has not been good. So they're also coming off a bye. It'll be nice to see Von Miller, but like he said, he's a 3-point shooter. He's not a starter in terms of being able to do all the things.
Right.
And I think that he's going to have a tough time too with what the Broncos bring. And so we're right around it, ladies and gents. I think it's definitely time to start. It is okay for us to think about seeding and matchups, and not that you're going to, but we've earned it by the players and franchise has done all the work. But we as fans get to enjoy that a little bit. You play at Washington, play again, come back and play again against the Raiders, and then I think you're gonna have a really quality matchup to gauge where you're at against Green Bay. And then you get Jacksonville at home, which you and I will be at. You go to the Chiefs, but you get the Chargers at home. So really, to me, that Chiefs game, that Packers game, if you can split those, it seems 14-3. When they were 1-2, that not for sure what we were looking at, and so super excited about that. So you and I both got Broncos for win. Let us know what you think. Again, like, subscribe, algorithm, share with your friends, all that good stuff. So we appreciate you, JT. Why don't you send us out, dog?
Yeah, no, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. We enjoy talking sports, so always reach out to us. We're more than happy to engage, but we are done for the day. So thank you. Be kind to one another. Be safe out there. And if you have a sports prescription, ask a doctor, or if you need one, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I got a sesh yet, but you know what he was saying.
From football to hockey, we're taking it higher. Join the celebration, feel that sports desire. So grab your crew, let's hit the show. My high sports symposium, let the good times flow.